All right, we are here. We are live. It is Friday, September the 2nd, and good to be on with you today. I hope this power up finds you well. Trust you had a good day yesterday and looking forward to a wonderful Friday. Today is really it's the beginning of the weekend, the longer weekend here, Labor Day weekend coming up. And I hope that you'll have a great weekend. Hopefully, you're able to get Monday off and can enjoy some family time together. But we're going to have a busy weekend here at the church. We've got the yard sale on Saturday. And so be in prayer for that. Be here if you can. And then we've got back to school Sunday. This Sunday, we'll be giving out backpacks to all the young people in attendance. And so, man, I hope you'll be here Saturday. You'll be in church Sunday, and you'll have a great weekend, elongated weekend as you celebrate Labor Day. Okay, let's go ahead and begin here this morning. We're going to look down at Proverbs 29. As I looked over these verses, I'm not sure if we're going to finish the chapter today or not. There's just a lot of neat thoughts here in these verses, so I don't know if we'll get all 5 of them in, but we'll see how we do. Let's look. Proverbs 29 and verse number 23. Verse 23, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Once again, we see this thought of pride, and we throughout the scriptures we see that pride, that haughty spirit, we see that evidenced and spoken against. In fact, we know that Satan, the sin of pride in the time of Satan, there is he thought that I will be like the Most High, I will this, I will that, and making those I will statements, and very pride. Satan, as he tempted Eve and as Adam and partook of the fruit, tempted them with pride. You will be like the Most High. You'll be able to judge both good and evil. Hey, go ahead, do it. And pride, listen, can ruin our life. It ruins relationships when we think more highly of ourselves than we ought. We read in the scriptures that only by pride cometh contention. Pride brings about contention, brings about strife and problems in the lives of people. And so we see here this. Now let me remind you from this verse, look what happens here. A man's pride shall bring him low. A man's pride eventually will humble him. It will bring him down. But honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Look at the reverse, okay? Let's do this. On this side, we've got pride. And what happens? By pride, we are made low. This side, we have humility, humbleness. And it says here, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. It'll lift the humble in spirit. Man, be an individual. Listen, don't let pride creep in your life. Don't think more highly of yourself than you ought. Hey, humble yourself. Jesus, you consider this in Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through 8. It says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. And you know what that mind speaks of? It speaks of humility, how Jesus humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Philippians tells us. And so be an individual that is humble in spirit. And listen, don't ever get too big to do small tasks. Don't ever think that you're above something just because of your age, maybe because of your position, because of your title. Don't be above certain tasks. Man, be willing to just jump in, get a job done if it needs to be done, okay? Man, what a great verse. What a great reminder about remaining humble. And then let's not say, man, you wouldn't believe how humble I am. I'm the humblest person I know. We all know there's some pride in that. So remain humble in spirit. The Lord will lift you up. Verse number 24. Whoso is partner with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewrayeth it not. And so you consider kind of what's happening in this verse here. the association, the partnership with a thief, with he heareth cursing, excuse me, excuse me, and he hears that cursing and bereath it not, does nothing about it. And so I want you to think about this. And sorry about that, but I think the allergies and everything. But you've heard the term guilty by association. We've also know the scriptures tell us to abstain from the appearance of evil. You look at verse number 24, partnering with the thief, hearing the cursing, and thinking it's okay. And so I want you to just think for a moment about your life, about who you associate with, who associates themselves with you. And I want you to just always be mindful, okay? Be mindful of this fact and always consider it and think about it. Who are you partnering with? You are who your friends are. You are who your friends are. If your friends curse, chances are you do as well. If not, if you don't, people definitely think that you do. If the people you are with are drinking and all that kind of stuff, guess what's thought of you? And the list goes up. And so just be careful about who you're with, who you partner with, who you're hanging with. And then let me give you a reminder. As a Christian, we are not of this world. Okay. It's not our home. Okay. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. And so some people would say, well, I've got to befriend, not befriend, but man, I've got to partner with these people, hang these, if I'm going to reach them with the gospel. Okay. People, yes, people do need to see Jesus in you. But you know what? You ought to have a testimony of this, that, hey, when Phil's around, man, I'm not going to curse because Phil's, hey, you know what? Phil's around. You know what? I don't do certain things because, Phil doesn't appreciate those things. That ought to be the testimony that we have. Not that we're lording over people, say, hey, I'm not coming around, those types of things, if you're going to do that. But we ought to have some standards and convictions. People ought to know where we stand. They ought to know what our conviction is. People ought to know, hey, where's Phil going to be Sunday morning? Where's he going to be Sunday night? Where's he going to be Wednesday night? They ought to know that because of my faithfulness to the Lord's house. And then, man, Phil doesn't do that. He doesn't go there. And those types of things because of our stand, because of our convictions, and people know that. Whoso is partnered with a thief hateth his soul. And man, you need to have those standards, need to have those convictions, need to have that testimony of Christ likeness. And if we're partnering with a thief, guess what? We're partnering with worldliness. We're partnering with sin. And so we must be mindful of those things. And then he heareth cursing and bereath it not. Listen, you hear that maybe that the words that are not appropriate and so on, and to just be okay with it. Don't do that. Take a stand for what's right. Take a stand for the cause of Christ. And not that people are saved because of our convictions, and not that we are saved by our works, but people ought to notice the difference in us. And oftentimes it's through speech, it's through our actions, and it's through who we hang with. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I don't know if that hurts your feelings or not, but it should cause us to think about where we go, what we do, what we say, and what we think. It ought to. And that's what the Bible does. It ought to get us to question why we do what we do. It ought to get us to think about, hey, am I a representation of Jesus Christ? We noted this, I think last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, about the fact that we're ambassadors for Jesus Christ. We represent Jesus to a lost world. Are we representing well? Is there a difference? Do people see that difference in us? Okay, I'm going to leave you those couple thoughts there, and hopefully it was a blessing to you. Hopefully it was something for you to think about. Man, we've got a tremendous job as Christians. Most people in this world, they aren't going to pick up a Bible and read it, but they read us every day. And they ought to see the difference. They ought to see how Jesus has changed us. And man, what a powerful truth that is. Okay, let me greet several of you who are online and have commented live here. We'll greet you this morning. Lynette, good morning to you. Have a great weekend. Brian and Cindy, have an awesome day. Shirley, thank you so much for being on. Good morning to you. Ingrid, good morning to you and the kids. Love you. Have a great day. David, good morning as well. Bill, good morning. Thanks for being on. Have an awesome Labor Day weekend. Lee and Angie, good morning to you. I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. Dennis and Geraldine, good morning to you. Jody, greetings to you out west. Have a great weekend. Charlie and Marcia, good morning to you. Hope you guys have a great day. Cliff and Karen, good morning. Thank you so much for being on. All right. Thank you so much for commenting. Many of you, be sure and share the post so others can check in later on in the day if they're able. Also, be in prayer for our yard sale. Hey, we're starting at 8 o'clock, going to 2 o'clock. So please be sure and be here if you can with your stuff to sell. We're inviting the community in. We're giving them gospel tracts. And man, it's going to be awesome. So I hope that you'll be in prayer for it, be here for it. And then also don't forget, back to school Sunday, this Sunday as well. All right, Lord bless you all. Have a wonderful day.